Okay, dear students, let us continue with the session. Now let us look about the element of culture. Culture, as we have said before, is the total way of life. So it has different elements of culture. First element of culture is tradition. And the tradition, these are different things which are involving in the community. In any community, there is different traditions and the customs. Here, example of tradition is beliefs and the marriage. Tradition, it is like a tendency or things which have been occurring time to time. Example, beliefs. Beliefs in any community, people they believe. Either they attend into the church, other goes to the mosque, other they know where they believe. But belief is in every community. Marriage also exists in every community. Marriage is a legal bond, or it is a union between man and the women. So this is one of the elements of culture, custom, which is tradition. Second is customs. Custom also, this is the element of culture, whereby it is all about these are norms of conduct in a society which can change from time to time. Example, dressing style, eating style, and other things. So through looking on the customs, you see now you understand what is custom, and you know that customs can change according to time. You may change the dressing styles or the dressing code according to the development of culture or to changes of culture from one culture to another culture. Example, if you go in a certain community of people, you will adapt another culture from your community. So you will find automatically you have changed from your culture to another culture. That is all about customs. Norms and value. Norms and value also is another element of culture. Each culture has its value and has its norms, whereby value involve all things which are happening in the community and has the value also. Also, let us look about art. Art, these are skills used by man in designing and making things which are displayed. So in case of arts involve the skills or the ability of creating something. You can create even a video, or you can capture something, or you can decide to write something that can be displayed in a certain place and other people can read or can view. That is all about art. After looking at, let us look about craft. Craft, these are the real object which express man's culture. Example, furniture, pots, and the basket. When you talk about craft, this is an ability or an intelligence of a person by using art. He creates something that has the value. Example, you may look on different things like pot, that is an identity of the African people. Furniture, people create furnitures for using in the domestic as a domestic purpose, and the basket also are used there at home as like a domestic purpose. So craft, this is the product of culture. Also there is an issue of cooperation. Cooperation, this is a process or a situation of sharing anything to produce or to create goods by sharing or by cooperating together in anything in the community. Also, language. Language is element of culture also. What is language? Language is a media of communication in any community. It's the medium of communication in any community, whereby language now has been used to change the idea from one person to another person, or to to transform culture from one generation to another generation. So language is another element of culture. After looking about language, let us see the ideology. Ideology, it combines the beliefs of the people in a certain community, whereby ideologies in every community or in each community, there is the ideology of the community, whereby the elders or fathers, they have their ideologies or beliefs, where they believe that if this will be followed, something good will happen in the community. So after looking that is all we are about the element of culture. So after looking there, so now let us see the importance of elements of culture. First is norm and the value shape the future generations. So the values and the norms is there to shape the value, is there to shape the coming generation or the future generation in the community through looking the things which have been happening in the community. So even the next generation, we live in the same line or in the same track by looking what their fathers did. Also, we have language unite people together. As we have said, language as a medium of communication, it has been used as a driving force to unite people from one place to another place or in the same community. By using the same language, people share common cultural and the other activities through using the same language, so they come up into the contact and create something which has a value and ready to make to the development. So language unite people together. Also, it prepares a younger to take up responsibility. That is another importance of element of culture. Culture has been transformed from one person to another person. And as we have seen that culture is dynamic. So culture is dynamic because can it change from one person to another person, or can it be transformed from one person to another person? So through using culture, people now involved in the responsibilities without any problem. So another is works of art used to entertain people. Art is used to entertain people in the community. This is because art is there to create something new in the community which may be ready to make people to enjoy or to celebrate together after something to be innovated. Point number 5. A role help people to respect each other. Also, even in the community, there is a role that has been put so that they can guide the people the way how they should live in the community. So by doing that, role has helped people to respect each other. This role has been put because of solving different disputes that could be occurring in the society. So, dear class, after looking the importance of element of culture, now let us see the positive and the negative aspect of culture, of cultural values in the community. By starting with the positive aspects, first there is the respect for the roles. Positive aspect of culture, one of which is to respect for the role. The roles has been respected by majority people in the community due to that guideline that has been put as a role that if people will go against it, will be punished. So has helped to change and to make people to live in the good way. Or we can say in the society, children are taught to respect their parents through that first point. Second point, care for the old, sick and disabled. That is another importance of aspect of cultural value. Is one of the function is to help old people or sick people and disabled people whom are in needs of the assistance. So that is another importance of positive aspect of cultural value. care for the young. Care for the young also is another importance of aspect, value of culture, because through caring children or through caring youngs whom are in need, it is the indication of the community that is able to help each other. Also, we have working hard. People with the good aspect of culture always involved in working activities, and they work hard so that they can produce more and to increase production. Point number 5, participation in civic activities. That is what we say, the cooperation of the whole members of the community in any activity that exists in the society. Point number 6, accountability and transparency. Accountability. Every member in the community should work for the development of his family and the community. And every member in the community should be transparent so that to change the attitude of the community. After looking the positive, let us look now negative aspect of cultural value. Negative aspect of cultural value. First one is female genital mutilation. Female genital mutilation, this is one of the cultural activities which have been practiced in different culture. Example, in Msoma, people had been practicing this genital female mutilation. In Maasai tribes are involving this female genital mutilation, whereby female genital mutilation involves the removal of a certain part of organs from the female parts of reproduction, from the reproductive female parts, whereby this later causes some effects during the adulthood. So other is early marriage. Early marriage, this is a type of marriage which has been which exists in a certain community, whereby a girl is getting married or a boy getting married under 18 years. Forced marriage also. Forced marriage, this is a type of marriage whereby children's or child in the families are forcing to get married before or without their willingness or without their needs. So this is another negative aspect of cultural value. Point number 4, inheritance of widow. There have been the tendency of inheriting women after their husband to pass away in a certain community. So this inheritance of widow also is the negative aspect of cultural value, because it is not better to inherit wives from one person to another person, because it may lead to the spread of disease from one person to another person. Also, there is the issue of polygamy. The issue of polygamy, this is a situation whereby a man or a male has more than one wife. And in most African communities, people has been practicing this situation of having more than one wife. Example, in Skuma tribes and the other tribes. So that is a negative impact or aspect of cultural value. Number 6 is the blood price. Blood price, this is also another negative aspect of cultural values, whereby a man to get a wife should pay some amount of money or should make bargaining with the parents of a wife, so that before to get wives or to get married, you should pay some amount of money. That is what we call blood price. So after paying that blood price, so now you can be allowed to get wife. Food taboos. Food taboos, this also is a negative aspects of cultural value, because there are some foods women or children that have been restricted or stopped to use, because that food that people believe that food could affect children or their mothers. Example, during the many years back, women were not allowed eat food like eggs during a pregnancy period, or to use food without the presence of husband. So this was very restricted and is not allowed in the community. So dear class, I think you have enjoyed the lesson. So let us end up today. We shall continue to the next time. Dear class, before to end up the session, so let us see the question which is about to explain the characteristics of culture in your community. Dear class, I know everybody of you have your surrounding community. So each community must have its culture. So at the end of the session, you will be answerable to attempt these questions, which is to explain the characteristics of culture in your community. As you have seen at the first of the session that we have read all types of culture, features of culture or characteristics of culture. So this is your homework. Thank you very much.